Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a books I want to reread this year video. Now, in hindsight, okay, because hindsight is a thing, I really should have done this in like January, not August, because that's a big pile and it's August and I'm concerned. But here we are, doing the video 8 months late in, fashionable style, because I'm always late. It's a thing. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. A little books I want to reread video. A few of them are kind of like tradition, like a few of them I do actually reread quite often. So yeah, it's very, very sunny here, which I'm loving. I hope it's sunny wherever you guys are, and if not, I hope you're like warm with a blanket and a hot drink. Oh my god. I can't wait for autumn. I was gonna say fall then, and I'm like, no, I'm not American. Anyway, should we get into these books? The first book I have is this gorgeous cover of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This actually has only half the book in it because, fun fact, in the UK we split Little Women into 2 books, whereas I know in the US and maybe other countries as well it's one big one. That's why it's so skinny. But yeah, so that's that. I obviously will read the second half as well. This cover's just prettier. I actually reread this every Christmas. I reread it every Christmas and it is the best time. The blankets, the hot chocolate, but the Christmas tree, oh, it's gorgeous. And I will rewatch a version of Little Women while I'm making mince pies on Christmas Eve. It kind of changes very often, but I usually go for the 1940s version. It's just nostalgic, I feel like. So yeah, I rewatch that every year. I've got a really itchy mouth for some reason. I rewatch that every year and yeah, make mince pies, and I reread this by the Christmas tree. It's just the best time to read this book, especially because it does actually have some Christmas settings in it and it starts when it's set in Christmas. So it just works really, really well. And I love it with my whole heart. Whenever anybody is like, what's your favourite film? I'll be like, Little Woman. They'll be like, what's your favourite book? I'm going to be like, Little Woman. There's only one option and I've chosen it. So yeah, I'm excited to do this tradition. I'm very, very excited. So yeah, I need to stop saying so yeah in videos. We cut out obsessed. Now it's so yeah that needs to just go. Anyway, next book is one that I love. The series means a lot to me. But I'm also going to put it out here that it's personal preference if you want to involve yourself in this series and this franchise. And yeah, and that is ACOTAR. I've reread this I think I've reread it like 3 times now because I keep rereading it in the intention to reread the rest of the series up there, and I have not done that. I reread the first book and I stop at the first book. And I want to get to the rest of the series, I just haven't. I need to get there. I've read the rest of the series already, but like to reread the whole series, I have got shorts on, don't worry. And so yeah, we're gonna try again to reread the whole series and start with this book. It is an audiobook on Spotify Premium, and so I'm thinking that might be the way to go. It might be. It might be the way to go. But yeah, I'm excited to reread this, get back in the world. The characters mean a lot to me. So it'll be a little comfort read. Be a comfort read. Next book is one that I actually probably will shock you. I don't know. I think it might. I love this book. It's actually not really a book, it's a collection of poetry. So it's not even really a book, but I really love it. I really, really love it. I've read it 3 times already, so this will be my 4th. I actually did it for an exam in school and I haven't read it since, and that was about over like a year and a half ago now, nearly, yeah, a year and a half ago. So I haven't read it since. I needed the time to sort of take it away from that academic setting in my head, and I think I've reached that now. And that is the works of Emily Dickinson. It's not all of them, as you can see. I need to actually get a book a big book that's all of the poems. I've only got this little collection right now. There she is, the woman, the myth, the legend. Um, I just love her poems. I think they're gorgeous. I think it's stunning to read some poems from a published female author of that time who was also part of the LGBTQ community. I think that's so good. And I've actually got Apple TV again. I had it, and I lost the free trial. So then I deleted it because I didn't want to pay it. But now I got a new laptop, so I've got a free trial again. So I've got it again. Ugh. So I can finally finish watching Dickinson. And this is just a perfect thing to reread while I'm finishing that show. By the way, if any of you haven't read Dickinson on Apple TV, it's basically a comedy drama sort of show set in America in the 1800s, and it's about the life of Emily Dickinson, and it is stunning. So go watch it. Go watch it. But yes, that is the works of Emily Dickinson. The next book that I've read more than once and will definitely be reading again because she is just an amazing poet, an amazing author. Her writing always blows me away, and it's so deep and you can analyse it so much. And because I'm an English girly, I do that. And that is Nikita Gill with Fierce Fairy Tales. These are a collection of feminist poems based on fairy tale retellings. And it is just incredible. It's an incredible collection. I've read it so many times. I will read anything that this woman writes. Not even joking. Anything this woman publishes, I will have in my hand and I will be consuming it vigorously. It's just incredible. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at the pink. We love the pink. We know we love the pink. I love this collection. She's got a lot of other amazing collections. My second favourite is Wild Embers, followed by Great Goddesses. Stunning. This is my personal favourite. This is actually the book that got me into her writing. It's the first book I read from her, so it is my personal favourite. And I would just recommend it again to literally everyone I walk past. If I ever see someone and they're like, I love poetry, I'm like, do you love Nikita Gill though? You should. So yeah, big fan. We've had a lot of poetry books. Well, we've had 2 poetry books today. But I think that's more poetry books than you've ever seen on my channel, so that's impressive. The next book we have on the list, I read it 2 years ago, I think. So it's been a hot minute and I have mostly forgotten what happened, so I need to do a little reread. And one of my best friends has just finished reading the series, so that really makes me want to reread it again. And I have Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I haven't read it yet because I need to read the first 3 books in the Caraval series first. I've read the first one, I've read the second one, I got halfway through the third one, had to give it back to my best friend, so I haven't yet read it all, and so it's time for a reread because I finally got the books for my birthday, which will be in my birthday book haul, go watch it, and so it's just time. So, Caraval, I'm very excited to read you. I don't mind this cover. I actually think the spine with the blue and white is really cute, but I don't like how it gets darker. You'll see it if you go watch the birthday book haul. Very excited to reread this. Very excited to go back into this world and just have a little fun time. I'm probably going to reread it in autumn because it gives off autumn vibes. I'm just very excited. The next book I have read so many times. So many times. Look at those. Look at those tabs. I don't even tab my books. But this one I also reread because it's my second favourite book ever for a school project, and so I've had to wait about a year and a half until I can read it again just to get out of the academic setting. But this will be my 4th time reading it, I'm pretty sure, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie Moo by V.E. Schwab. I will say, like with all my books, just check the trigger warnings before you read them, but this book is stunning. It's one of the books that got me back into reading. I adore it with every bit of my being. I think it's tied with Little Women, actually. It's just a stunning book about identity and feminism and art, and how if an immortal was a man, he would be treated differently than if an immortal was a woman. Oh, it's stunning. I really love it. It's about love and growth and grief and just how art prevails and the beauty of the world, and I just love it. I could write my dissertation on this book. And so I am really excited to actually reread this again. Cannot, will not, can't wait. I can't wait to read it with a pumpkin spice latte and a blanket. I really can't. And I'm so excited. The next book is one that I haven't already reread. I know, shocker, given this list, they're all books I've read twice already, not just once. So, but that is Cinderella is Dead. I read this, I think about 3-4 years. It must have been 4 years ago. That's crazy. When I was first getting into reading, and I've always loved it. I've always thought, what a great book. But it's got to the point where I'm saying, what a great book, but I can't actually remember what happened in the book because it's been so long. And so I just thought it would be a nice autumn. I was thinking Halloween because I know it's a dystopian book. I thought it would be a good Halloween book to sit down, get back into, go down memory lane and just read it. I do remember when I read this book, I actually moved into this house and I was laying, I didn't have a bed yet. So I was laying on the mattress, couldn't stop reading it, could not stop, which was great because we had no Wi-Fi for ages. It was awful. And so I had to have something to occupy myself. That sounds so sad. Sounds so sad. Anyway, so I just binged this and I loved it. And so very excited to go back down memory lane, give it a reread and just experience that love again. The next book is one of my favourite reads of 2023. I read it in September of last year, so it's nearly coming up to a year. So I think I'm also going to reread it in September, just to, keep up a tradition of sorts. And that is The X Talk. I actually think this is a really underrated book. I haven't heard much about it. Like, I love it. It was a 5-star read for me, obviously, because I want to reread it. Can't wait to reread it. But yeah, I haven't actually heard anyone talk about this book, which is quite upsetting to me because I did genuinely absolutely love it. It literally gave me a career crisis, it was so good. And that's saying something. So I'm really excited to read this. I remember just thinking that I've never found a romance relatable in such a way that I found The X Talk relatable. And it really connected with something that I was going through personally at the time. So it just really hit, and it really hit at the perfect time in the perfect place. I just can't wait to read it again and go down memory lane, even though it was literally 11 months ago. Crazy. You know it's a good book when you're rereading it, literally on the year anniversary when you first read it. You know it. The next book is probably a shock to you because I actually read one of her other books in July and I actually didn't like it that much. But the next book I'm going to reread is From Lukov with Love. I gave this a 4.5 stars in 2022, so that was, no, it could have been like February of 2023. That was still a long time ago. But I really loved it. I loved the ice skating. I must admit, I have been obsessed with ice skating ever since reading this book. It changed my obsessions. Really, really did. And I just now scroll through TikTok for ages just watching ice skating videos because that was the effect, and the effect that From Lukov with Love is still having on me. And I constantly think about the characters. I think about the characters every other day. And after reading Wait for It and it just not hitting, I thought I need to remind myself that Mariana Zapata books are good. And so I was like, it's time to reread From Lukov with Love. And I found this for like £5 in the works. I actually remember it because this book had been on my wish list for months, but it was like £18 on Amazon, and I was like, I can't be spending that on one book. Like, not when it's paperback. I just couldn't do it. And then I saw it. I walked into the works looking for something else, and I saw it for £5, and I thought I can't get anything else but this book. I have to get this book. I cannot leave the store and not get this book. And so I got it and I loved it and it just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. So yeah. Last but not least, this is one of the first romances I have ever read. It's the one that got me into romance books, and again, it's one of those things where I did read it 3.5 years ago, and so I recommend it because I know I loved it. But I sometimes forget what happened in it. So that's why I want to reread it, because I've honestly forgotten what happened and I want to remember. I want to have that memory back. And that is Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. The character is also 18 and I'm now 19, so it kind of fits nice in the age range. I feel like I could probably relate to it more than I did 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. It's a it's just, oh, I remember loving it. I truly remember loving it. I remember devouring every page, not being able to put it down, and it is the book that got me into romance. And so I can't wait to just go down memory lane, immerse myself in it, and just really enjoy it. Especially because I don't remember much of what happened in it because it was so long ago, but I remember the feeling of loving it. It's like I'm always going to remember why I loved it for the first time and have that experience again. And I really can't wait. I just really, really, really cannot wait. And I do to-do lists now. I never did to-do lists, but this book is about a girl that does to-do lists, and now I can't stop doing them. Changed the trajectory of my life. Well, not really, but it changed the way that I organise things because now I do to-do lists. Cannot wait. And that is the end of that video, my loves. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a fun time, just as I did, going down memory lane. I'm gonna probably make a few videos of me rereading these books, so that'll be fun. Keep an eye out for those. And yeah, I've got a few exciting videos coming up this month, so I'm very, very excited for you guys to see those. And I will see you when I see you. Lots of love, stay safe, bye bye.